Alright, I'm going to skip all this part and move down to where it says evaluate trig functions. Alright, this is only dealing with right triangles when you have these 6 trig functions that I'm about to talk about. There's 6 of them. The first one is sine, spelled S-I-N, sine. And sometimes, or oftentimes, you'll see it sine theta. Do y'all know what theta is? It's a Greek letter, but all it stands for is a missing angle. You know, like sometimes if we're missing a number, we'll put x. If we're missing an angle, we'll put theta. That's how you say that. So sine theta, let's write the 6 trig functions first. Then we have cosine theta. What's another one y'all know? Tangent, good. So the other 3 are going to be opposites of these 3 common trig functions. And I call them their boyfriend and girlfriend. So sine's boyfriend, yes, sine is a girl. I just came up with that. Is cosecant. Everybody say that. Sine's boyfriend is good. Sine goes with good. The way you spell that is SCS. That's cosecant. You can kind of remember it because it starts with a C, so think cosecant starts with CSC. Cosine's boyfriend is secant, SEC. So what goes with cosine? Say it. No. Secant. That's what I want. Sorry. So what goes with cosine? Secant. Good. Now, tangent's boyfriend is cotangent, spelled C-O-T. So what's the opposite of tangent? Cotangent. Good. The reason they go together, I think I just mentioned this because they're opposites of each other. Okay? So to memorize what all of these are, all you have to remember is SOHCAHTOA. Y'all remember that from geometry? How do I spell that? Good. And good. And how does this help us? What does the S stand for? Very good. So sine is what over what? Very good. Opposite over hypotenuse. The C stands for what? Cosine. So cosine is blank over blank. Very good. And tangent? Very good. Okay, so tell me what the SEC stands for again. Its correct term? Nope. Cosecant. Good. Remember, it starts with a C, so co. So if cosecant goes with sine and they're opposites, what do you think cosecant is going to be? Very good. You just swap them. How do you say SEC? Secant. That'd be what? Very good. Cotangent? Very good. You have to memorize these by your next test, which isn't going to be for a little while. Probably not next week, but one before spring break. But you'll have to memorize all of these. So this will help you with the first 3. The other 3, you just have to remember their opposites, okay? So for number 1, we have to find all sides, opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent, because we're finding all 6 trig functions. Those are the 6 trig functions. Before we do that, cover up your notes, or just flip them over like this. Flip them over. And let's practice memorizing them, okay? Everybody look this way so I know you're not cheating. Sine is what? Good. Try it again. Sine is? What's the opposite of sine? What is cosecant? Tangent? Good. Tangent's opposite over adjacent. What's the opposite of tan? So it's cosecant? Good. No. Cosecant's what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Remember SOHCAHTOA. What's cosine again? What's the opposite of cosine? No, what's the opposite of it? Cosine. Secant, which is good. Alright, now I'm going to call on individual people. I won't be mad if you don't get it, I promise. Alright, Julia, sine. Good. Sid, cosine. Good. Toby, cosecant. Almost. Cosecant's the opposite of what? Good. Alright. Darius, tangent. Almost. Think tangent is TOA, right? So it's opposite over Good. All right. Evan, cotangent. Good. Nicole, secant. Good. Connor, sine. Good. Rihanna, tangent. Good. Nikki, cotangent. Good. Simon, cosine. Double cheating. Almost. You had it swapped. Good. All right. Let's get started. So the first one, we have to have all three sides. And all three sides we're looking with respect to theta. And theta is this right here. Okay? So go ahead and draw your angle. This is what it's with respect to, not the 90-degree angle. So what is opposite of our theta? Very good. It's across, so it's our opposite. What is 13?
Adjacent.
Why is it hypotenuse? Yes. Anything across from the 90 is always going to be our H. So what are we missing?
Adjacent.
Good. Do y'all know how to find a missing side with 90-degree angles? Say it louder. Yes, Pythagorean theorem. But that's only with right angles. Keep that in mind because we're going to be dealing with some that aren't right angles. But with right angles, we can use Pythagorean theorem, PT. And what is the Pythagorean theorem? Very good. Does it matter what A and B are? Does it matter what C is? C always has to be the what? So what's 13 squared? Very good. All right. Do you want to fill in 5 for A or B? Okay. So A squared would be very good. Everybody see where I got that? How do I find B squared? Good. What's 169 minus 25? Good. So B squared equals 144. So B equals what? Very good. So what did we just find again? Good. All right. So the directions say find all 6 trig functions. Try not to look at your notes above. Yeah, mine are already covered up. Name one trig function. Sine theta equals. That's always how you write it. Sine theta equals. And sine is what over what? So it'd be very good. All right. Who goes with sine? What? Cosecant. Good. And it's going to be what over what? Opposite. So it's going to be what? Good. These just swap. All right. What is another trig function? All right. Cosine is blank over blank. Good. So it'd be, what's the opposite of cosine? And that's going to be what over what? Very good. All right. 2 more. Tangent is going to be what over what? So it's going to be very good. And what goes with tangent? And it's going to be what? Very good. That's it. So your answer is all these 6 trig functions. We just had to find this one so we could find the adjacent. Questions about that part? All right. This next one, number 2, look at your 2 sides and think we're going to have to put like this as a fraction at some point, right? If I were to put like 12 over 16, could I leave it like that? I'd have to do what? Because what goes into both? Good. So instead of simplifying 6 fractions, like we'll have to do here, we can just simplify from the beginning if they have something in common. So just point out, these we couldn't, right, because they have nothing in common. These I can take out of what? So this would be, and this would be, good. You can do that every time if they have something in common. That way you have smaller numbers, plus you don't have to simplify fractions. All right, tell me what 3 and 4 are compared to theta. 4 is opposite. Very good. Okay, so we're missing And how do we find it?
A squared plus B squared, C squared.
Good. So tell me how that would be. So 9 plus equals C squared. That would give me what? Good. 25 equals C squared, so C equals what?
5.
So that's our hypotenuse. Alright, so Caleb, tell me sine theta. What's that going to be?
4/5.
Very good. Alright, Toby, what goes with sine? And what's that going to be?
5/4.
Good. Bryant, tell me what cosine is.
Adjacent over hypotenuse.
Good. So in this case,
3/5.
very good. Plunkett, what goes with cosine? And that's going to be very good. Alright, Alex, what is tangent? So in this case, good. Sid, what goes with tangent? And that value? Good. What do y'all think so far? Easy? Before you do the next one on your own, can you simplify those sides? Yes or no? No. Go ahead and do 3 on your own, all 6 trig functions. Let me know if you need some help. Alright, Rihanna, what is 17 compared to theta? Good. And what about 8? Good. So we're missing adjacent. And Evan, what'd you get for your adjacent?
My adjacent was 15.
Wait, say that again?
15.
Good. Everybody agree? Alright, any questions about how to find 15? Do I need to go over that part? Alright, Abigail 1, sine theta.
8/17.
Very good. Alright, what's the opposite of sine, somebody? And what's that? Very good. Connor, what'd you get for cosine? Everybody agree? What's the opposite of cosine? That's going to be... Very good. Darius, what'd you get for tangent? Very good. And what's the opposite of that? Cotan, which would be... Everybody good? Sweet. Trig's not that bad. It's actually pretty fun. Alright, flip it. Alright, this time, for number 1, it says if tan equals 7/12, what is cosine A? So don't be confused about the A. That's just kind of another word for theta. It's just another letter, just like theta is just a letter. So that doesn't really mean anything. We just have to find one trig function on this after we're given tangent. Tell me where to start on this. Or first of all, what is cosine? Good. How do we find that? I can't hear you. Somebody said something though. Okay. We don't have to.
The tangent is the opposite and the adjacent.
Very good. So we know that tangent is opposite over adjacent, so we know what?
Those are the two awesome how that we find the hypotenuse because
Very good. So opposite is what for our triangle? 7. Our adjacent is? So we have our adjacent right here for cosine. We just need hypotenuse like Toby was saying. How do we find that? Good. Okay, so tell me how to set that up again.
12 squared.
So 144 plus
49,
equals c squared. What is 144 plus 49?
193.
So how do we solve for c?
Take the square root.
Of 193, right? Anytime we're doing trig, we always want to leave it as radical form. Never want to put it as a decimal. So 193, is that a perfect square? Are there any perfect squares that go into 193? Go ahead and take a minute to check. Tell me if you find one. We're on 12.1 notes. Anybody found one? Good. All right, so our hypotenuse is what? Very good. All right, so again, what are we trying to find? Cosine. Good. So what is our adjacent in this problem?
12.
Good. That came from the original. What is our hypotenuse? Yes. Can we leave it like this? No. We have to multiply the top and bottom by what to get rid of that radical? Very good. So what's going to be on top?
12 square root of 193.
Over? Good. That's right. 193. That's it. So sometimes you won't have pretty numbers like we did on the first three. Oftentimes in trig you'll find that you have lots of radicals. Any questions on that one? Try 2 and 3 on your own. Make sure you leave it in radical form. Let me know if you need some help. cosine is blank over blank? Good. Okay, so what do we need? What is tangent? What do we need for that? So we need to find our what here? Good. Tell me how to set that up. Which is 1, right? Plus equals. Very good. How do I solve for b? Subtract 1, take the square root, so b equals, and that's our what that we just found? Very good. Questions about that part? Alright, now it's just plugging this in the formula, so it's tan A equals, what is our opposite? Adjacent? 1, so we don't need to put it on bottom. I mean, if you did, that's fine. Questions about that? Alright, this next one we are given blank over blank. Opposite over. Very good. Tell me how to set up to find adjacent. Good. Subtract 9, we'll get 55. So square root, or excuse me, our adjacent is what? Very good. So tan is opposite over adjacent. So tan B, what's our opposite? Over, which we have to multiply by. Very good. So tan B is very good. What do y'all think? Easy? Good deal. Alright, any questions about that? Okay, flip it over. We probably won't get through all of these problems, but we'll just go ahead and start on it, okay? So what we've been doing is solving for all 6 trig functions, which basically means we're solving for the sides. This time we're going to be solving, just for sides on this one as well. But we can't use Pythagorean theorem. Why? We only have one side right here, right? Okay. So on this one we are going to have to use one of the 6 trig functions, and we have to figure out which one we're going to use. What angle do we have? 90 and what? Oh, that's not to mess up. Second, sorry. Alright, let's look at 38, whatever angle they give us besides 90. What is 10 compared to 38? Okay, what is our x compared to 38? Good. Alright, so what trig function is dealing with opposite and adjacent? Good. Sine is what? Yes. Okay, so what trig function is dealing with opposite and adjacent? That'd be what? Good. So let's set up the trig function with tangent, okay? It'll be tan of what degrees? 38 degrees. Very good. Oh, man. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, let me fix this. Tan of 38, and tangent is blank over blank. So it'd be 10 over x. Very good. What letter are we trying to solve for? Yes. Okay, so any ideas on how to do this? How do we get rid of that 10? What is really the problem on this one? It's not the 10, it's the what? It's not just the x, it's the x's and the... Good. So we're dividing by x, right? So how do you undo dividing by x? Very good. Just one side or both sides? Okay. So on the left side we'll have what? Very good. How do we solve for x now? Very good. Divide by tan 38. So x equals 10 over tan 38. Well, there's a value for that, but in your calculators, first thing you need to do is make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Can I borrow yours, Caleb? So everybody have out their calculator, and then go to mode, this button right here. Press that. Okay. And see where it says radian and degree? Right here. See how his is in radian? If yours is in radian, you need to go over to degree and press enter. If you don't know or if you're not seeing it, let me know so I can come help you. Everybody's in degree? We'll find out in a second. Now hit second, this button, and quit right beside it. Now the way you type this in is exactly like you see it. 10 divided by, make sure you put the bottom in parentheses, 10, which is this button, 38. Close both parentheses. Make sure you get 12.7994, blah, blah, blah. If you don't get this, let me know so I can help you. Everybody got it? Very good. So let's round to the nearest tenth, because that's what the directions say. So it'd be 12 point, very good. So that is this side that we just saw for, 12.8. Questions about that part? Let's do one more together, and then we'll call it a day. Alright, solving for x again in this one. What angle do they give us? 63. What is 4 compared to 63? And what is x compared to 63? What trig function is dealing with adjacent and hypotenuse? Good. So tell me how to set it up. Very good. Or x, either one. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Alright, so we could do this two ways. We could multiply both sides by x again, or couldn't we just look here and see how it ends up? And it's going to be x over 10 over tan 38. So this one's going to be x over x equals what? Everybody see that? So if x is on the bottom, you take this number and divide it by cosine 3. You can swap places. The x and the cosine can swap places if x is on what? Bottom. Alright, go ahead and type this in your calculator. See if we can all get the same thing. Alright, tell me what you got out loud. Everybody got that? If you didn't, let me know so I can help you. Alright, after you do number 3 and I've checked it's correct, you can pack up. And we'll start here on Monday, because remember tomorrow's math workshop test. So after